Ladies and gentlemen, in race number 5, it was erroneously reported that the 7 Bert has been scratched. He has not been scratched. He is, in fact, running, but he is a gelding. In race number 5, Bert, the number 7 is a gelding and will be racing in race 5.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile and Andy Serling. A lot to talk about today. A pick 6 carryover of just under $208,000 kicks off in race 4. We're off the turf in races 2, 4, and 9. We are on the turf on a turf course currently listed as yielding for races 6 and 7. Fast main track, but we got to get to work. You need to head over to Naira Bets. Not a member of Naira Bets, no better time than the present. Use the promo code MATCH200. Go to NairaBets.com, sign up, become a member. We'll match with $200 of your initial deposit. As mentioned before, a pick 6 carryover. That's $207,748. Starts in race number 4 of our 9-race card today. Race 4 and 9 in the sequence are off the turf. Races 6 and 7 remain on the grass. We also have a $20 bonus if you bet, I believe, $100 on each Keeneland and Belmont opt-in, and you will receive a $20 bonus, win or lose.
Belmont at the Big A, of course.
Belmont at the Big A, right. Yeah. Sort of forgetting where I am. It's getting too confusing.
What else we got? Contest?
We have a contest. You have until 5 o'clock today to sign up for that contest. $300 buy-in, and there's a $2,000 seated in the pool. That's tomorrow, and you have until 5 o'clock today to sign up. Finally, last, not least, 12:30 to 5, covering all the action today at
Belmont at the Big A.
I was going to opt in for the contest. What's today's date?
Today's date is the 7th, my friend. The contest? You can't play the contest.
No, I'm going to opt in for the Keeneland.
20
I might
bucks?
actually play Keeneland.
I don't blame you. At Alcibiades, a big field. We did a little video on Naira Bets this morning for the Alcibiades and
let me guess, you picked Chad Brown
for the weekend. I did.
Yeah, it's a shock.
Can't believe it, right?
Really, I know. It's incredible. Wow.
What am I supposed to pick in there?
I don't know, but I knew you'd pick Chad Brown. There's 14 horses.
I guess one to wheel.
I don't look Chad Brown.
I like the draw.
I think Kaling's going to be very tough to beat.
I don't like the draw for her.
Okay, I don't.
A little too wide.
Okay. Race number 1. So you've got Shooligan running here. I don't know if the picks are available or what's going on here. You've got Shooligan on top. We'll show the race last time out. Shooligan took a ton of money in this race in the slop, and I don't know. Not the kind of horse I want to bet on, but I guess he'll probably run okay, but failed once at a short price. Going to beat me again at a short price again.
Not going to hold the sloppy sealed track going into the debut
Why?
against. Well, because I'm not.
But the horse ran.
I know the horse ran, but I'm going to assume that the horse can run a little bit with all the money he took. That was a weird track that day. I mean, it was just a tiring track, and we didn't. I thought the time.
It actually wasn't a tiring track at all. What was interesting about that day was how shockingly fair the racetrack was that day. The inside was actually good that day, and no, that was a very, very fair track. It was the day before the Travers, actually, when it rained. It poured right. Was it?
I didn't say it wasn't a fair track.
You said it was a tiring track. It doesn't. It was. It was a very, very fair racetrack. It wasn't a tire. I mean, I don't know what that means, but it.
They were going real fast early, and they were coming home slow.
No, I don't think so. But anyway, okay. I'll look at the charts after the day and make sure to see if that's true.
Okay.
But this horse, but you're saying if they went fast early and they came home slow, doesn't it help this horse? I mean, doesn't it help this horse if they're going slow at the end, or is it trying to close into a faster pace?
This horse made up. Do you realize how much ground this horse made up?
Yeah, no, I do actually.
And now he gets an extra eighth
The horse
of a
made
mile?
up 7 1/4 lengths from the half mile to the finish. I know exactly what it made up.
This horse made up a ton of ground.
It's 7 1/4 lengths. I hear you saying, but I don't. I mean, listen, this horse may win. I'm not wildly against him, but I think he's going to take an awful lot of money, and he comes out of a very slow race. As far as quick to accuse, he was in that race, but he was setting the pace. I'd rather take the horse that was a pace setter in the race. Now, it depends. Now, Atlanta's Acuna could show some speed in this race. I think Mr. Marlin is going to run better in this race as well. I don't know. I don't like when horses fail at 6 to 5 in their debuts. We'll see. Horse may win today, but I didn't want to take this horse short price. I'll go to the horse quick to accuse, who will be in front in here.
They have to miss the buff.
And Dromoland has actually got an odd pedigree. The 3 is a half to Cinco Charlie, but 5 other horses that could not run.
Cinco Charlie, many moons ago for Cinco Charlie. Damn, hasn't produced much since.
No, she had 5 of their foals that didn't do any running at all. We were off the turf in race number 2. A very late scratch came in on Kingstown, who I think would have been one of the horses to beat.
I don't think I've ever seen a rider change and then 20 minutes later a scratch.
My picks here, guys, are 2, 10, 1, 4. I think you scratched the 2 when you should have scratched the 9. I'll let you correct those. I'm 2, 10, 1, 4 in race number 2. I don't see any reason to bet against Sinful Dancer. I know he's 0 for a million. Is off the claim last time out. I don't think ran that badly last time. I just think he's much the best dirt horse in this race. But listen, I get wanting to bet against him. The problem is I didn't have an alternative. My alternative would have been Kingstown, who's not playing. You've taken the horse off
First
the
time
claim.
Robbie Falcone, off the claim. I can't take Sinful Dancer with 11 chances, and I just can't do it, off the claim. This horse didn't even stop at the 40 level last time. They just bottomed this horse out at the end of Saratoga and ran him for the quarter.
Yeah, they had enough. They had to lose him.
And then he couldn't get the job done there at 9 to 5. So I'll take the horse that does not have anywhere near as much experience or chances as him.
Close to a fairly reasonable horse in there. Do you know where the name for the horse Cumberland Blues comes from?
I do not.
It's a Grateful Dead song.
Okay.
There really doesn't appear to be a whole lot going on with
No.
anybody else in this race in the dirt. Anybody else would be a surprise, I guess. We'll see. We'll see.
Aiton
Robbie.
Sand took a bunch of money in his first two starts, but he didn't do much running in either of them. So
Not really. Brittany Russell does get bet an awful
Yeah.
lot, especially where she wins. And as you point out, and I agree with, her success down in Maryland is not transferred to success up here.
not yet, anyway.
We'll see what happens in race number 2. Robbie Falcone has come live. He did not have any success at Saratoga, but his horses have been running in New York.
He wanted me to thank you, by the way. He used.
He didn't trash me on Facebook for something? Really? I thought he only trashes me on Facebook.
The horse you liked ran second. Ryerson.
It was the smallest exacta. That horse, the bet with that horse was 7 to 1 on the win board. It's really fascinating looking at the differences between exactas and
unbelievable, isn't it?
doubles and looking at win prices. Yeah, that race was bet completely differently inside. And it was also skewed by one person making a big bet, and I hope that person sticks around and keeps betting horses like the 2 in that race, who did beat the horse that almost fell down at the start. Race number 3. Well, this race fell apart.
It did.
What's up with this?
I don't know.
Assuming
Maybe
they
they've had
didn't
scratches.
pass
I have
the
no
bet.
idea. Yeah.
I don't know why Linda would scratch Cousin Andrew. That would be ridiculous even for her.
Thankfully, Cousin Andrew's not here today. I would assume he's not here today, right?
Yeah, he comes to Aqueduct a lot. Tefusky Island, who I just noticed how I misspelled when I said in the videos. Yeah, obviously, the scratches completely changed this race. And Tefusky Island now becomes a 3 to 5 shot in here. He's completely loose. His last race does worry me. This is his race 2 back, but he is loose as can possibly be in this race.
Yeah, with Quick Flash gone, he certainly is. And to be honest with you, I liked him with Quick Flash in here. I thought he would just sit off of him like he did, like he sat 2 starts back in the starter race. But yeah, I mean, this race looks like it should go right through him today.
Yeah, I like risk profile, though. I don't mind staying with him in here. He ran against much better horses in his race. That was sort of a weird race. They hustled him. He chased an honest pace last time out and thought he could be closer in a small field today, and I'm going to take him. I think he's a better horse than Tefusky Island. And frankly, he's been in tough spots. He comes back on 4 days rest last time in an off-the-turf race, and now he's had 6-7 weeks since that race. I think risk profile is a very logical.
Wonder if this Monty Gelrod that owns Tefusky Island is the old harness guy.
I wouldn't know.
Gonna find that out later on.
Race number 4 begins the pick 6, carryover of 207,000. What is it, guys? $207,728 or something like that.
Maybe a
That sound
4
right?
in there somewhere. Yeah, 48.
748. Thank you. Very good. 2007, 748. Rounded up to 208. So anything less than about $831,000. Well, actually less because it's 24%, so it's a little bit.
I thought you were going to say anything less would be uncivilized.
It's close to around $850,000. Anything less will be positive equity.
What was that deodorant commercial from the 80s? Anything less would be uncivilized, remember?
No.
Right, God, I think?
I never believe in spray on things.
Sports stick? No,
We've
sports stick
gotten
from
away
Gillette.
from a lot of aerosol products. It's
Really?
a good thing. Yeah. I never use them, but I don't think I have a single aerosol product. I do. Floor cleaner.
Huh.
Edge. What is it called? Pledge?
Pledge.
It's the only. It's the only.
Lemon scented Pledge?
I tried
Sounds like
different ones.
smells like my grandmother's house when I smell
Yeah,
lemon scented
no,
Pledge.
I don't know. It's just, I have hardwood floors, so I use it on that sometimes. So we're off the turf in this race, and there really is very, very little handicapping that can be done because the horse who has the best dirt form is Eagle in Love. And
Man, what do you do with Eagle in Love, right?
yeah, I mean, it's.
If he shows up with one of his 2 good races, he's supposed to win. He's supposed to win. Now, he doesn't have to win.
But his last 2 races are.
But his last 2 races, how could you bet a
His
dime
last
on him off the
race
last 2
was
races?
just horrendous. I mean, he was eased last time out. Now he comes in. He doesn't drop right to the bottom.
Well, that's what he
has to
does,
be
right, Andy?
used.
He gets beat 20 lengths, or he is right there.
Well, yeah, I know, but
There just seems to be a randomness to it.
well, probably try in the private. You're right. When things haven't gone well, he does seem to run incredibly badly in his races. I don't.
But his 2 good races put
I've
him
got
right on the money.
second.
Yeah.
You've got Ginsu Warrior on top.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do here. So I'm just going to ride the hot barn. This horse's fast track races, he's going to have to improve off them, but at least he's been consistent enough and he's run okay. I mean, they were early in the year as a 3-year-old, late, 2-year-old numbers early in the year as a 3-year-old. I don't know. He's probably better on the turf, but the Noda horses are running down here.
Well, he ran in the dirt in 2 of his last 3 starts.
No, I understand that. But this is Noda now, and the Noda barn's been going well. So I'm hoping one of the races was on.
Yeah,
Was in a
all of
sloppy
the
track.
trainers that mysteriously weren't having success in Saratoga have suddenly become much more successful, and there's a group of them, and the Nodas are one of them, and it is absolutely a fact.
It goes the other way too. There are
alive.
some barns that won at a high percentage up there. That
Nah,
have
this
gone
was
quiet.
a group that was lumped together for good reason, and you know, and I know, and they weren't winning, but they are running now. So I hear you with this horse, and I don't disagree. The horse has dirt races and can win. I'm going to take Seabury on top. You know, Seabury has the one dirt race that makes him a contender here, and it was the first time for Ray Handel. And the truth is that I am the law will be favored in this race.
No question about it.
And
He's
I don't love
ineligible
him.
now, but he'd be favored.
Yeah,
Correct.
right. Yes. If he was allowed to
Yes.
race, yes. If you make a great point. So I look at this horse and think, you know what? He's improved for Ray. He has a turf pedigree, but he ran well enough in the one race in the dirt. I obviously have to use the 8. I don't disagree with you, the 4. And I also have Milano in there, who ran against just better horses last time out in a race dominated up front. It was impossible. What's the Timbuktu story?
I don't know. I mean, he's by Munnings out of a Scat Daddy mare. There's got to be a little dirt there, no? I mean, I know it's.
Don't
more
you think the problem with this horse is that he is begging you to claim this horse? Begging you. He didn't even run that badly last time in a non-winners of 1 New York bred race.
Yeah, he's a New York bred. I mean, I don't think they're leaving anything up here in the winter. I don't think they did last year.
Anthony, there's still 2 months left in the turf season. They are begging you to claim this horse. To deny that is silly. Doesn't mean
Let me ask you a question. Off his last 2 races in the A other end, right? Which really were not the strongest A other ends. Is
there
he
will
going to
be
win
7
one?
claims for him on the turf races. They're begging you to claim him, and the fact that they leave him in off the turf, in my opinion, confirms that. Doesn't mean he can't win. Doesn't mean he couldn't win in the turf. Doesn't mean he won't win in the dirt. But I'm saying about this horse is they are begging you to claim this horse, and to deny that is to deny reality. And I think the fact that they leave him in reinforces that notion.
Okay.
They want out. And I don't think he ran badly last time out. He had a ridiculous trip 2 times ago. He'd actually really improved for Brad. And they're completely giving up on him. You say, now leave him here. Well, okay, so what? You know, he's worth more than 30, this horse. I mean, the winning purse is over 30,000.
In theory, he's worth more than 30,
So
yes.
the question is, why are they so eager? I mean, he's going to get 2 or 3, he's going to get at least 2 chances to run in these New York bred turf races. Don't forget, we run a lot more of them late as the season progresses. you know, as a lot of the turf horses start leaving, you start seeing those New York bred turf races show up a lot. This horse has the ability to earn some real checks.
And he had a chance to enter one yesterday. The A other end that came off the turf.
And instead he ran here. I'm not saying he can't. I gave this horse a good look. I'm just saying this horse is really. I mean, they're just dumperoonie with this horse.
That's a good. I slept that point. That's a good point. I'm not going to say it's a great point, but it's a good point.
It's not a great point.
It's not. It's a good point.
No, but I think it's just listen.
It's
once
worth
again,
noting.
He can win. I don't have any argument.
And listen, maybe they're hoping
to
take him, grab the. Think he's going to run well. Grab the 28 and the whatever.
I don't think they think he's going to run well. Race number 5, kick off the late pick 5.
How about this one?
Well, I mean, it's sort of a 2-horse race between, I mean, I guess 3. Central Pride, I mean, I just think Central Pride is way the horse to beat in this race. What do you have against him?
You want this horse at a short price? Because I'll tell you what.
Yes, and here, yeah, he's the horse to beat.
All right.
I mean, the one thing I'll say about he's got a short fuse who will show the last race, this race, which is the only figure he has that puts him in hailing distance, actually wasn't a bad race. Looking up some of the horse that won the race had run a 62 buyer, a 68 buyer, and then a 54 buyer. Looking up other horses in the race, I think there's an argument that either a number of horses just digressed, and don't forget there's some big gaps here, 5 back to 3rd, 5 back to 4th.
Yeah, they were strung out.
This horse ran last time. So I don't want to completely dismiss him in cutting back from a 2-turn mile to a 1-turn mile. I mean, I thought the horse you would pick in here if you were going against the 4 was Burt, who's a new gelding in here. To me, he is clearly the interesting horse. I get he didn't run well or get particularly bet in his first 2 starts, but he's first time in the dirt for Charlie Baker. You don't have him in the top 4?
I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what to do here. I hated this race. Well, I hated this. I'm going to tell you what.
There's 3 horses.
I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that. I think you can make a case for anybody in here, really. I have a big problem. This race, I'm going to tell you what.
Well, why'd you pick Kayamura?
I just took a shot with Kayamura.
Why?
He left because he ran. He didn't even put this horse in a turf race. He ran this. He entered this horse intentionally in a dirt race. Did Dave Donk?
There's a race went.
7. I'm sorry.
There's a race went. Took a shot. Do you know the pedigree of this horse?
Yeah, this horse is out of a jumper.
Yeah, you're picking a horse who's bred to go 2 miles over the jumps.
Well, a horse also worked 47-3. Before the turf debut. He's wheeling the horse back in 2 weeks.
Big workout report on that horse?
I have no workout report. I'm just listening. Horse seemingly worked okay over the Belmont training track when he was down here during the summer, as opposed to being in Saratoga. Listen. I've been grasping at straws here. I don't have a handle on this race. I just know that I didn't want.
What's wrong with picking logical horses?
I didn't want Central Pride.
You've got one of the 3, 4, 7. Your top 4. You definitely had trouble with this race.
I didn't like the. I mean, I know the 3's last race was okay, but I don't really like the 3. I thought Central Pride's going to be a short price, and I just don't. There's not enough there. I'd rather take a little bit of a swing with a horse.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be back with the late pick 4.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
We're good. That'll be nice. Hi, we're back. We are brought to you by the way, by Saratoga Spring Water. We appreciate that, and we're really appreciative of the bottles that we got sent for that. So thanks a lot, guys.
I'm going to take a ride over to Belmont.
It's an invisible bottle.
I'm too busy for the weekend. I'm a very busy person, Andy. I'm going to take a ride over to Belmont on Monday, and I think there's a couple of strays over at the set.
I need you to get something for me. I left something in my office.
Give me a key.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, thank you.
I'll head over Monday and get some bottles.
God. I tell you what. We like being at Belmont, but given how cold it had been some number of days, it's going to be cold again tomorrow.
Can you imagine that rainy weekend last weekend?
Anthony, I actually did.
We'd have died. We could have died,
It's
Andy.
nice these 2 days, but yeah,
Thank
this
God.
weekend, tomorrow's going to be chilly.
Yeah.
But nice at least, but yes.
I'll be at City Field the next 2 nights.
That's nice. That'll be fun.
It'll be freezing, but it'll be nice.
Not tonight.
No, tonight will be okay. Tomorrow
will be chilly.
Rough.
Yeah. It's funny, I remember when the first time I went to Fair, I don't know what they're doing.
I took it out.
Well,
Yeah,
I haven't turned it down because they're blasting our ears out.
Yeah.
I went to Fenway I went to the games 3 and 4, or the third and fourth games. They're actually 4 and 5. When the Red Sox came from 4 back, down 3-0 to beat the Yankees. One of probably your favorite moments ever.
Really?
So was that 2004?
2004, yeah.
Yeah, I was at those games, and the first night was like mid 60s, balmy out. The next night was like free. The next night was the game they came
So you
back
were the
when Big
second.
Papi
You were the second.
I was in the game
Papi
they
home
lost.
run.
Yeah, and I was at that game.
Oh, you were at that was like 18.
Yeah,
9
I
and
saw the
something.
last number of innings in a bar.
Right, but you were there for the
I would've
Dave
stayed.
Roberts stolen base,
But
and
we
then
had some people with us, and they were a little
the Papi
chilly.
home run?
You know me, I'm very, very hardy and tough.
very-
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's the first time I ever went to Fenway.
I was at Game 7. I was at Aaron Boone
What was that?
in 03.
Well, we had watched that in Saratoga. It was painful to watch. And I remember talking about we were going to go to Fenway and said we'd go the next year, and go we
Nice.
did. Race number 6.
It
So
was-
race number
it was one of the best moments of my life.
6. that-
Sadly.
I watched that at the back bar at Hattie's. Which used to be really fun, if you go way back. So the scratch of principal stand in this race not only takes out a very big player, but also
The speed.
makes the life of the number 8, and we'll take a look at Not Far Now last time, much easier. And I guess you could argue that 7 Cents, who beat him, is just a better horse. I realize that he's supposed to be moved up after the scratch, and I probably would have looked at this race differently. They're not moving now, but they're getting ready. They're sort of getting energized to move up. I'd like to think that Kendrick, who had a big day, what did he have, 4 yesterday?
Oh yeah, great ride.
Yeah.
A couple of really good rides yesterday.
He did it for Jimmy Riccio, because he knew Jimmy was upset about the Mets not winning the division.
Speaking the back, I was in the back of Nove for this.
Okay.
I'm home Jerome here.
No, anyway. This is a horse that's a little on the dressed up side, to be honest with you. And he should have won this race, but he has run faster figs, and given the scratches, he is going to be tough here. I just don't really want to take him in this race, so I went in a different direction. And I'm hoping that Duress can find his way a little bit closer to the pace. You know, he doesn't have to be that far back. I mean, I realize he doesn't have a lot of speed, but he's got some races, he drops, and I'm going to give him one more chance in here, though obviously I preferred him with Principal Stan in the race, who had to go.
I'm using 158. I'm going to put a ticket up for the pick 6 on Naira Bets, obviously. I'm going to use 158 reluctantly.
Well, there's nowhere else to go.
Right. I wish I could trust Not Far Now a little bit more to cut this ticket down, but I can't
Given the
because of that
ground.
race 2 back.
And given the ground,
Yeah, I just can't trust him.
Yeah.
I
he's
wish.
way to horse to beat. He'll be a super short
Yeah,
price.
I wish I could have picked the rest and went with a little bit of a price in here because.
And the morning line, keep in mind, Principal Stan was
Yeah,
probably favored. I
7
assume,
to
in the morning
he
line.
was 7 to 5.
Right, and this
Yeah.
horse would probably be 6 to 5 if he had made.
Not Far Now is going to be a shorter price than Principal Stan would have been. In all likelihood.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
yeah.
a fair point.
So
It's not a great point.
it's a good point.
I don't want to. I don't want to dilute the importance of truly great
See,
points.
so I kind of left. I didn't. I thought there was an outside chance that they would scratch Principal Stan.
Why?
I
didn't have any intention to. The last I knew.
Oh. Wasn't he in for a tag already and they scratched him?
I don't know.
I think that may have happened once.
but-
in any event, I left oldies but goodies for you man Trombetta. But you picked the rest
what's
instead.
wrong with- what's wrong?
Nothing. And I thought you would
For
pick him on
me,
top.
he's the second choice.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to be.
He's 8-1 on the morning line. He wasn't the second choice on David's morning line. He was the co-fourth choice.
Not David's best moment on a morning line. It's not possible this horse is the same price as XY Speed. It's not possible. This horse actually has recent races that are good.
Yeah, I don't know. The XY Speed is stakes face. There's a lot of stakes on that card.
bad,
I
no
know
claim
he was
for
awful last
maker.
time. He was and he went off favored in the Not Far Now 7 Cents race, and he didn't run 2 steps.
I didn't bet any of them. I didn't bet the winner, the second horse, or him. I think I bet the rest.
You did.
Problem though is because he's got to improve a little bit to win this race. But if, like me, you're not thrilled with the 8, then he's obviously a major player.
And I'll tell you what, we're guessing with Duress. This is a horse that, depending on how fast they go, he does not have to be far from the
That's
front
what I
end.
said.
Is all.
Well, I said you're hoping that Kendrick can find a way to get him a little bit closer. He has been closer at different times.
No.
in his
I'm talking
career.
about oldies but goodies. He doesn't have to be that far away
Oh,
from
no,
it.
no. Well,
So-
he's supposed to be sitting second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be the one to inherit. So.
Oh, he definitely is supposed
Yeah.
to be sitting second. He was always going to be sitting
But
third.
I don't.
No
See,
worse than third.
I wish I could. Like I said, this is the maiden race in this race. I wish I could cut this ticket down, but I don't have enough trust, especially with the cut in the ground. And I think this horse is. I think this horse is live
You
shipping.
made the previous race tougher than you needed to. Race number 7. This is not an easy race. I'm glad this race stayed on the grass. It was easy for Anthony because he just picked Chad Brown and Karvich.
This was my snarky catch last time when I kept him in for the waiver and he got the job done from the rail.
He was 5-2 against a bad field. He beat. We'll take a look at it. He beat Splendid Summer.
He beat a hungry bunch of horses.
Hideous group of horses. I don't like this horse. This horse wins. I lose. I got him 4th. I don't think I'll be playing the pick 6. I really haven't get involved in pick 6 as much anymore. But I wouldn't use this. I mean, I'd pick 6. He'd be a C. But I'm not a big
He'd be
fan
a
of
C.
this.
Really?
What's so good about him? What's so good about him?
The fact that he protected him is interesting enough with all the horses they dropped in up there.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting enough for me. I mean, this was won pretty easily the other day, Andy. I know it was 2 months ago.
He beat Splendid Summer.
I know he beat, but he won
30
easily.
30-1 in this race. I mean, he beat a terrible field last time. This is a. I mean, you got 2 Cameo claims in here.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I know. Valero, if he can turn Valero around at this point.
well, I don't know. Valero ran against much better horses
The other
last
horse
time.
the other horse makes a lot of sense. The horse you put on top, the horse I have second, makes a lot of sense.
They both can win. I prefer Hard Ride Guy. Hard Ride Guy's last race, in that steady 16th ball, this horse was completely blocked in the stretch. In fact, we'll show it.
He'd have won. I think he would have won.
Royal Spirit. I don't know if he would have won.
No?
No, I don't know if he would.
I thought he was making a winner move when he got shut off.
Well, he just had nowhere to go. I don't know if he got shut off. He just had nowhere to run. He's the one in red behind horses. I don't know. I thought the winner ran pretty well in here, but he did get tied up behind horses. He's trying to rally through here.
Right there,
in
he's
here,
through.
he's going to get shut off.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, he gets
He's through, he's
stopped.
wins. He threw, he wins.
I'm not sure.
I think he wins.
But regardless, yeah, and he's a horse that has back form. I thought he was way the horse to beat in this race, and I don't know.
Well, isn't the problem
now,
problem with him that he's a little pace dependent, isn't
Leave
he?
the stat up, please. It's a little bit pace dependent. Yes, no, he's more than a little bit pace dependent. I don't disagree. We'll see how quick the pace is. Is Mach 1 going to go? Rally Squirrel going to go? War Strategy? There isn't a ton of pace there. I don't disagree. But you know what? When they get in the hands of these guys like Cameo that win a lot off claims, his numbers off of the dirt claims are much better than his turf claims, where he's just 2 for 12
That's a
in the
Todd
turf.
stat, by the way.
No. This stat is for Royal Spirit. I want to show this and leave it up. This is claim from Todd Pletcher in turf routes. Overall claim from Todd Pletcher is slightly higher percentage, but an actual $1.05 ROI. And Linda, off the claim in the turf, is just 5 for 64, and she's 2 for 34 in routes. So you've got a trainer with lousy numbers off the claim on turf, claiming from a trainer who's very tough to claim off of, especially on the turf. And I get Royal Spirit got it done last time, but I've got the worst third because good enough to win, and I'm not a big fan of the bottom. What's your problem with Restless Spirit?
I have him third.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was
we
super.
have the same 4 numbers.
He comes out of a very strange race we ran at Saratoga, to say the least, and he was 2 to 3 wide around the track on a time you needed to be on the rail. I don't know that he was necessarily ranked. Those taken ups into the turn are because horses are sort of behind horses, but I didn't really think it was any real trouble. He was just wide. His trouble was he was wide against the Super Gold rail in a race that was dominated forward and dominated by horses on the inside. I think he's perfectly logical in the air. I'm not sure he's not the horse to beat. And I think the problem with digital software is that because it's Chad Brown, he's just going to get over bet. And he's meeting a significantly better field than he met last time. He's not impossible, but he beat a bad field last time. And who has he ever run? He beat Bailout to break his maiden. A desperate head to beat Bailout.
A desperate head. Wow.
Am I wrong?
You painted some picture there.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
That was a pathetic battle. That was like, who do you I don't want to win.
A
You don't.
pathetic battle by a desperate head.
Do you remember
wow.
what moment that was when he won that race?
Hold on. Hold the line, please. Was that a Rad's 2000?
No, it was Chad's 2000.
That's what I meant.
Race number 8. So race number 8, you got Baby Yoda going a mile. I'm curious about something.
Sure.
Oh, I know why he's not in the stake tomorrow, because Mott's got Elite Power in there. That's why.
Yeah.
Couldn't he even favorite over Elite Power?
I'll tell you what. How about no speed?
How loose would he have been? How loose would he have been in the Vosburg?
5 in front. He literally would have been 3 in
The
front.
same owners as Elite Power? Elite Power's
No, Elite Power is Judmont.
Yeah. Very
I'm
strange.
going to double check that, but
Very
I'm pretty
strange.
sure Lee Power's
We'll take a
Juddmonte.
look at his race 2 back.
Yeah, Juddmonte.
I think one of the problems with race 2 back, now in fairness, Sibelius has turned into a monster since this race.
Unbelievable, right?
He's probably the horse to beat in the Phoenix today.
Yep. I agree.
So,
We got a video up for that too. A little hype for the weekend. Give you an Alcibiades pick.
that sprint division is in shambles. You look at that race and you look at the Vosburg, outside of Jackie's Warrior, that division is in utter shambles. I thought it was mediocre last year. It's worse this year outside of Jackie's Warrior.
It's a rough bunch.
This is his win. Now, it's important to note in this race, and it is fair, Sibelius has really improved since this race. But do you remember who the heavy favorite was in that race?
I needed reinvestment for $8,000.
Okay.
Yes,
Reinvestment
well aware.
risk was heavy favorite, and he didn't show up at all. I don't know. He's got to get a mile today. I'm not confident.
You know,
I'm not confident.
I'm a much bigger guy that's concerned with distance, and I know what you're saying, but man, isn't
You're
he
not
just,
concerned with distance. You're obsessed by distance.
isn't he supposed to get the mile against these horses?
No, he's right. What, these horses?
Andy, who are you concerned with in here? The only horse you could be concerned with is the horse that you picked on top because he has distance
I'm not
races.
concerned with him. I like bourbon calling.
Realize this horse hasn't won in 2 years, and when he did, it was at Charlestown.
Okay, he's also run plenty of figures that are good enough, and he's a better sort of closing one-turn type horse. And isn't he going to get a little bit of pace with this horse in
He's
here,
supposed to.
Firesword?
Yes, he's supposed to.
Firesword comes off this huge win. Dave Donk is 0 for 16 off the claim with dirt horses. 8 of them hit the board. A bunch of them actually were short. But Firesword's going to try to get a mile. He got 7 here. I even think Market Alert's a little bit interesting in this race. I really do.
You could split hairs with Firesword and say 3 of his 5 wins came at 7, 7, and 6.5. So maybe distance is something that he's appreciated a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
he won pretty
It was a
easily here.
pretty bad field.
It was a soft
Swift would
bunch.
be 100-1 in here.
Yeah.
But he is the speed. Baby Yoda's supposed to be on top of him. But Market Alert's not that slow either. I think Market Alert is very dangerous in here. I would use 1, 3, 5 here. I actually think the 3 can win, and I like Bourbon Calling in this race. He's got plenty of races fast enough to win this race. Plenty of races. I don't care that he hasn't won races. Look through. He's
run well enough.
But he's also a horse that most of the races he's a big price. It's not like he's losing races at short prices.
Yeah.
We shall see. Race number 9 is off the turf. What'd you do here?
I went to Rudy. Quick power nap. Just try and go wire to wire. Dam only ran twice on the dirt, but 2 of the 3.
He's going to go. Oh, Eric Cancel's on Fast Corey. So
I'm sorry?
Fast Corey is faster, but Eric Cancel's on her, so it's hard to know if she'll show a lot of speed.
She's never run on the dirt before. But she's shown speed on both the turf and the poly, so maybe you're right.
Pretty
I
bad,
just
bad horse.
I just thought Kendrick would go right to the top. 2 of the 3 foals, the Dam had both one on the dirt.
But everybody's only run the horse in the turf.
Yeah,
and Rudy
I know.
on the turf. Okay. I think
And dropping off the claim. Listen.
Okay. I didn't see her, but hey, I pick Union Dolly. I think Union Dolly's an interesting horse because if you
You're
look
really
at her,
trying to get that dinner out of Ray Handel, huh? It's not happening.
I know it's not.
It's not
He's had plenty of
happening.
opportunities.
And this
Believe
horse?
me, Ray had plenty of chances up in Saratoga to pick up checks.
You got zero chance,
I saw the
pal.
guy about a third of the time I was at dinner. There was never even an indication he was reaching.
No shot. Deep pocket, short arms. Used to be a harness horse. I did all the time.
I introduced the guy to Andy Byer. I did
you
everything
really?
I could. Yeah.
You couldn't even get dinner with Buyer around? We're never getting fed.
Nothing. I got nothing. The guy's so full of it.
I'm going to starve to death.
Anyway, when this horse ran that 13 Buyer, was coming off a 17 Buyer in the turf. And then he improved markedly when he came back 8 months later. And even though she's no killer, she has improved. She actually ran pretty well after jumping up at the start last time, breaking the length plus slow. Others had tougher trips too. The 4th horse, who should have been 2nd, had a tough trip. But regardless, she's improved as a horse. Who knows what she was then? Because she ran the same horrible race in the turf that she ran in the dirt.
I think I was sitting with Ray over the winter, and I think he said she can't run on the dirt. That's why he waited to run her back on the turf. But don't hold me to that.
Well, he left her in.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
I guess he's giving her another chance.
Yeah.
I think that the 10 Fast Corey is usable because she can be forwardly placed in this race. And she's a practical joke. I know it's all turf on the dam side, but she is a practical joke. I also want to have the 4, Classic Lynn,
Okay.
who wants to go shorter. I mean, who knows if she can run? She's only been on sealed tracks. 2 times she ran in the dirt. She didn't run that bad in the May of the Mist. I don't know. I've got her in there. We'll see what happens. It is not exactly a race that's it's way full.
I'm with you, sir. There's a big carryover today. Do you know that?
$207,748 to
Correct.
carry over.
Starts in race 4.
It does. Head over to Naira Bets. Best way to play through Naira Bets. Use the promo code MATCH200. It will match for $200 of your initial deposit. We have the carryover you mentioned. Starts in race 4, $207,748. They'll need about something close to mid-40s to $850,000 for it to, at least, if it's less than that, it's a positive equity bet. However you look at it, it's going to be a pretty low takeout bet when you factor in the carryover. Listen, yesterday's sequence looked manageable. It immediately became unmanageable. Race number 1, it was...
In an hour and 10 minutes, the thing was it imploded.
And in 2 minutes, it was in trouble. We have the $200 bonus, bet $100 on here and Keeneland.
$20 bonus.
$20, excuse me. $100 it's opening day at Keeneland. Watching our friends Gabby Gaudette and Scott Hazelton doing the show, one of our monitors. If Saturday contest, $300 buy-in, you have till 5 o'clock today, so you've got yourself about 5 hours to sign up. And we're seeding that pool with $2,000.
Yes, we
Makes
are.
it even more fun. You can only play it online through Naira Bets. And finally, last but not least, 12:30 to 5, covering all the action on FS2
What are you
today.
watching tonight?
I'm going to Radio City to see Chris Rock. So that's where I'm watching.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Chris Rock's a Met fan. He'll probably give you some.
I have a phone. You,
I think
heard about this thing with the phone? They get like scores on your phone?
They don't like you having your phone out at concerts and stuff.
Oh no, nobody has their phones out.
I didn't say they don't. I just said nobody likes it.
I'm gonna
You know, Andy, we're partially artists. We don't like when people have their phones out. You yell at me for having my phone out all the time.
All right, we're done. You are just starting.
Just ignores
Are
me.
you doing the changes or?
No, Johnny's here. That's
Okay,
why. That's why I looked at my phone, make sure Johnny was here.
back. And have a great day. Good luck in the pick 6. You're playing.
Ticket going up soon, Naira Bets.
Bye.
See ya.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.